Hello everyone and welcome back to Assassin's Creed Valhalla with me, longclawvalhalla, where we always deliver. Well, we are headed far north to the city of Jorvik, or York. Hytham from the Hidden Ones has instructed Eivor that there could be a potential 3 Order members hiding out in York, plotting to take over the city. As it happens, Eivor has a couple of old friends from Norway who have settled in York, so sets off to the docks in York to find them and asks around. And I first run into the harbour master. Eivor asks him some questions and he gives the location of the house. When Eivor gets there, he sees that there's bodies, starts hunting around for clues and finds his friend at the rear of the property, having just murdered a couple of her attackers. Let's see what's going on here. Eivor's friends are counsellors, advisors to the King of York, and they agree to take him for an audience. Eivor explains why he's in town, that he's looking for potentially corrupt apples in this society. The king is open to the idea that there could be some corruption, and he agrees that Eivor can have the freedom of the city and run around and do what he wants, but just doesn't alarm the public. He meets several of the council members, and each one of these is suspicious in his own way, and I'm looking at all of them with suspicion. My first job here, after rendezvousing back with my friends, is to go and explore the archives where all the Christian texts have been hidden. And there's a lot of whispers as you run around the town. You hear people complaining, particularly about items being seized at the dockside, so there's something to do with the harbour master again that I want to investigate. But right now, as soon as you walk into the archive, you are already in a cutscene and you see one of the council members, and you meet the abbess, who is responsible for securing and protecting all of the Christian texts. Right away I'm suspecting this woman, because why else am I being introduced to her, and why wasn't I introduced to her already? But that could be a red herring. I visit the rectory and find that the bishop has been murdered, and underneath his body is a note that suggests that there could be some foul play. Before I have a chance to fully investigate, I hear the sound of some guards approaching. An Anglo-Saxon shout comes through the window, and I have to run across the rooftops towards the ministry. The ministry is where all of the Christian texts and everything have been taken. And when I climb in through the window, I hear voices, and Autumn, right away, straight in there, just a couple of minutes in, I can already tell that this is one of the Order members. The Abbess, as I suspected, she is the firebrand, and she's having a conversation with one of the bishops, and essentially is responsible for burning all of the Christian texts. So the Order want the Christian texts to be destroyed. Eivor is just watching and observing at this stage, and she throws this bishop into the fire, and there you go. Now you're going to try and kill the firebrand, but it's not as simple as jumping down and killing her. She has some guards with her, and some of them dress up to look like the firebrand to deviate and as a cover. These are mostly women fighters, ferocious warriors. You can fire at them as you're running around the building. Some of them are playing sentry outside the doors, and there are 3 locations on the map that you can explore. Head around, and depending on which one you choose to go to first, you may be lucky and find the one where the firebrand is, but I presume that she will be in different locations. Sometimes you're fighting someone who looks like it's the firebrand and has a question mark after their name, and it turns out after you kill them that it's not the actual firebrand. The firebrand is named as the abbess when you actually get into a conflict with her, and she is around in one of the 3 areas. When you eventually do find her, kill her and take the confirmed kill, and you'll get your cutscene. And it seems that she is just another cog in the wheel of the Order, who was responsible for trying to remove all the Christian texts. They don't want the public to be following a Christian path. So that is one down, and once you've finished your cutscene and seen the abbess go up in flames, you then need to go and rendezvous again with your friends and explain what has happened. And once again they point you towards the docks and the harbour master, who has been a bit of a corrupt figure in the town, and I suspect he may be one of the other Order members. I thought that when I first encountered him on the dockside. So Eivor will go and investigate and have a look around the trade depot, which is where he keeps all of the goods that are seized at the dockside. So why would he be seizing goods at the dockside? There's something going on here. It's not quite right that the public and the people who are arriving on the docks in York are having their goods seized. Remember that York would have been a huge trading port back in the day, really the gateway to the north, the largest city, and at one point I think was even almost considered like a capital city, certainly when England was formed under one kingdom. So looking around the trade depot, you can see that there's a few guards here. It's definitely a suspicious area, and you don't want to be seen until you're ready for conflict. Once you do get in conflict, there are various different aggressors you're going to fight, but most of them are pretty aggressive and come straight at you. So as long as you can just to get rid of them and take them out, you'll be able to investigate the rest of the clues in the area. Essentially, the clue that you're looking for, which allows you to progress, will be explained. You need to go to the market, and some of the traders who are corrupt or in this corrupt circle do hang black sails off their market stalls. If you ask around and try and spend a bit of money in the market, someone will direct you to the narrow alleys, which is where some of the darker trading goes on. And as you ask a few more people, you come across a trader who has a young boy with him, and the young boy explains that if you really have something you want to, he's kind of boasting that he's already entangled with the Needle, who is the code name for the Order member, and you need to head to a statue down in the main square, and the hideout where the Needle and his gang members reside is somewhere near there. When you get to the statue, you'll need to take the key from behind the statue, and the hideout is just left of the statue. It's a small house there that's got some black sails outside, and when you go inside, you can then start looking around and investigating the cellars. This is a winding path, and right away you can see it's full of guards. You can sneak around, I guess, but I'm a Viking, right? Not an assassin, and I want to attack and get in there and be aggressive. So take out all of the guards, and eventually you have a door which you can open, which will lead you to a cutscene where you come face to face with the harbour master, Grigoris, who is the Needle. He admits it straight away and asks some of his guards to kill me, take me out, and disappears out a side door. So I guess I'm going to have an interaction with him, and my face-off with him will be a little later. Take out the guards. This is really your boss fight, because none of these particular... the Firebrand was a bit of a fighter, but none of the Order members that you're taking down are particularly handy. It's not a real boss fight, so your boss fight is really with the guards that you have to take out whilst you're trying to track down these. And sometimes the missions in this game are a bit like that in the story arc. So take out the guards, get back to the marketplace. There's another cutscene where you witness how horrible and villainous the Needle is, and then you can assassinate him and again get your kill, have your cutscene, and he explains that why he's doing this, what his motivations are. And again, it's the Order trying to stop the Christian faith from spreading, and they're trying to take out certain elements and eventually take over this city, because as I said, it's a big city. Then controlling this city will allow you to control the whole of the north and the northwest. Once you are out, again, feed back this information to your friends and go with Lufwana to look at the archives again. And at this stage, I'm starting to even suspect my friend. I'm not sure if it is him because he's a council member, and possibly, but we're going to inspect the archives, and actually inspecting his desk where he sits in the archives, and we even move his desk to find a secret entrance, and there's a bit of information there about some silver that he wanted to be kept away from his wife. So this is making me suspicious of him, but I'm not sure. You're playing detective here, so you need to figure out who is the culprit. Once you get to the theatre, amphitheatre, where the Yuletide festival is going to be held, you can go round and talk and interact with the different members of the council, because now you've figured out that the wine for the Yuletide feast has been tainted, poisoned, and that the Order, and in particular the Vault, the final member of the three Order members that you're tracking down, has intentions to poison and kill all of the main hierarchy in the city, thus taking over the city, even the king. So you need to stop this from happening, and you're looking and talking to each of the four members of the council, so that includes the king. At this stage I've kind of made up my mind who it is, and I don't think it's my friend, and I don't think it's some of the other council members. I think it is Andon, and when you go back and discuss this with your friend Lafana, you can explain why you think it's him, because he was the one that you ran into first with the abbess in the archives. The archives is where we found the clues about the wine. He's responsible for organising the entire city, and the feast, the Yuletide feast, he's responsible for all of that and the catering and everything, and it could and looks like it's him. So upon accusing him, the next job is to figure out how you can stop everyone from drinking the wine, and it's kind of too late. A cutscene emerges where Andon is now talking to and revealing his hand, telling everyone that he is planning to take over the city, and the Order are now going to change everything, and that they will all die right here, and will never have the chance to find out what exactly the new Order looks like. And there's some horror faces from everyone. Even the king is horrified. It seems that it's almost too late to prevent this from happening, but Eivor can do this, right? So straight away Eivor needs to go and attack it. I took an arrow and took him out, and there are a lot of other members and Order members as well that you can take down. Archers on each side, and high and low, so clear the place of all the guards, get your confirmed kill, and you'll have your final cutscene with Odin. And it's almost like a trial here, but this guy's truly guilty, and you've now taken 3 of the Order members out. Feedback to your friends and to the king, and the king is so happy with your progress that he's happy to make you an honorary reeve of York. Ivor's very happy to accept, so he has his alliance, taking an arm ring from his friend Lufgana. Now he can go back and feed back to Randy.